Emma laid awake in her bed, her body aching with a dull, throbbing pain. She had been feeling it for weeks, ever since she had hit puberty. At first, it was just a minor twinge here and there, but as the days passed, the pain grew more intense. It was as if her body was stretching and growing, but not in the normal way. Her parents had told her it was just a side effect of adolescence, but Emma knew it was something more. She felt like she was being pulled apart from the inside out. Her bones creaked and groaned like old wooden floorboards beneath her feet, and her muscles felt like they were being stretched to their limits. As she lay there, she felt the pain spreading, like tendrils of ice creeping up her legs and arms. It was a slow and agonizing process, but Emma knew that she couldn't ignore it. She had tried to tell her parents about it, but they just brushed it off, telling her that she was going through a phase. But Emma knew that this wasn't normal. She could feel something changing inside of her, something that went beyond just normal teenage awkwardness. She felt like she was growing too fast, too far. As she lay there, she began to feel like she was being watched. She couldn't see anything out of the ordinary, but she could sense a presence in the room with her. It was as if someone or something was lurking just out of sight, waiting for its moment to strike. The pain grew more intense, and Emma felt herself screaming silently. She tried to move, to get up and get out of bed, but her body felt heavy and unresponsive. It was as if she was trapped in some kind of living nightmare. And then, everything went black. When Emma came to, she was lying on the floor, surrounded by her parents and a team of paramedics. They were all staring at her with concerned faces, talking in hushed tones about seizures and stress and anxiety. But Emma knew what had really happened. She had grown too fast, too far. Her body had become something new, something twisted and unnatural. And the growing pains were just the beginning. As she looked around at the concerned faces of her family and friends, Emma realized that she was no longer alone. The presence that had haunted her was still there, watching and waiting for its next victim. She knew that she would never be able to escape its grasp. The darkness crept in again, seeping into the cracks of the old house. And this time, it wasn't just Emma who felt its presence. The walls began to writhe and twist, as if they too were alive. The air seemed to thicken and grow heavy with an otherworldly energy. Emma felt like she was trapped in some kind of macabre dance, with the presence guiding her every move. She tried to scream again, but her voice was muffled by some unseen force. The darkness closed in around her, suffocating her with its crushing weight. And then, everything went black again. When Emma came to this time, she found herself in a hospital bed. Her parents were sitting beside her, their faces edged with worry and concern. The doctor told them that she had suffered some kind of massive growth spasm, brought on by extreme stress and anxiety. But Emma knew the truth. She had grown too far beyond human bounds. Her body was now a twisted mockery of what it once was. And the growing pains were just a symptom of a much deeper horror. As she looked around at the sterile hospital room, Emma knew that she would never be able to escape the darkness that lurked within her own skin. The presence still watched her, still waited for its next victim. And Emma knew that she would never be able to silence its maddening whispers in her ear. The growing pains would never stop. They would only continue to spread, to grow and twist and mutate until they consumed everything in their path. And Emma would be trapped in the middle of it all, forever bound to the horror that lurked within her own body. The darkness crept in once more, seeping into the cracks of the hospital room walls. And this time, it brought with it a new terror. The terror of being trapped forever in a living hell of one's own making. Emma screamed silently once more as the darkness closed in around her, consuming everything in its path. And when it finally receded back into the shadows, only one thing was certain: nothing would ever be normal again.